Greetings, community, and welcome to Entropy and Comics and another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, 7/9/2025. Here we are once again, and it's great to be alive. I appreciate everyone that cruises on through. Without you, but it only be half as much fun as it actually is. I'm just saying. And I appreciate everyone that does cruise on through. I really do. That being stated, how about we just jump right into it? Here we go. Start out with Marvel, Doctor Strange of Asgard, issue number 5. Here we are, finishing it out. I have pretty good feelings about this. The series in itself, I really enjoyed because it does lead up to what we're really getting at, which is the whole idea is Doctor Strange has lost his magic because of what happened in the Blood Huntish situation. Not only that, other things did transpire. Aside from that, what we end up seeing, getting back to Doctor Strange of Asgard issue number 5, this whole goal was basically to ascertain some magic from another realm to be able to try to, in my opinion, still trying to figure that one out because we've yet to actually understand what the goal is, or the strategy is of Doctor Strange to get his title back and his magic back. But I digress. Doctor Strange's goal was to ascertain magic to be able to challenge Doom and get his magic back and his title back to be able to, again, put everything back into a form of norm. In doing so, he ended up in a whole new challenge, a whole new situation, and he's playing with gods and godlike magic like he's never had to before. And he's not understanding a whole lot of it. He's kind of making everything up as he goes along in the series, and it's been really cool because it shows, even at times, an individual that we always think has always the answers. He already has things how should I say, calculated in a mindset like a chess master. That isn't always the case as we see in this series, and I do enjoy that a whole lot. Outside of just the overall story, the telling in a way where it comes from has really been enjoyable for me. And here we are, issue number 5, finishing out the series. And in some regard, it is only just the start of what we're supposed to get when he does whatever he's supposed to do, finish out this aspect of his goal, and then again, getting back to Doom, because we know that this is going to be going on for some time. Strange is then, in some way, some form, some shape, going to have to go ahead and try to get his, or at least get a team together to get his power back. Just saying. Let's take a moment and recognize those who were there. Jigs, I appreciate you as always, buddy. I truly do. Without you, it'd only be half as fun because you're the other half. The other half is when they cruise on the rewind. See how that works out? Whole hell of a lot. Moving on from that, let's talk about It's Jeff, Infinity Pause. Rawr. Issue number 1. I don't think in any way this is supposed to be taken seriously. It's just none one of those Jeff cute books. Just saying. I'm not asking or expecting a whole hell of a lot. I doubt it will change my life other than it will bring a smile, and maybe that will change my life. Just saying. So, hey, it's Jeff, Infinity Pause, issue number 1, coming out at 7/9/2025. Let's move on from that. Talk about Miles Morales, Spider-Man, issue number 35. I'm actually still a little behind. I have a box back there that I'm doing a little unboxing pretty soon because my pre-order did arrive a couple weeks ago. Yet to get to it. Finishing out some of the books that I still have. I think I only have like 9 or 10 books left of the other months. Point being, everything is back to Miles Morales issue number 35 coming out tomorrow. I just finished issue number 33. Where's that book? Yeah, 33. So I've yet to actually read issue 34. A little behind, but I've really been digging. Annecy's been giving some torturous adventures to Miles. He's now, the cool thing about it is he's now being assisted by some gamma-powered psychiatrist of his. What the hell's going on? I'm digging this new character. I think it's kind of cool. The team he's got is very eclectic and different. And what we're seeing is a challenge by the gods. And hopefully Annecy has a plan because I have no idea what's going on. Other than he's just trying to get good stories. I've really been enjoying it. In my opinion, Cody Ziegler has been doing a magnificent job on the writing of this. Here we are, essentially 3 years deep, and in no way has this story just dipped in any shape or form. Even though the directives have changed, we've had sagas, we have events in which that Miles had to participate in. We even got a new character or 3 out of this. That being stated, it hasn't diminished the storytelling in one way or the other, and I've been digging it. So, hey, Miles Morales, Spider-Man issue number 35 coming out tomorrow, and I can't wait. Moving on from Miles Morales, let's talk over at the last book for Marvel, which is Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion issue number 2. Not much I can really say other than the fact that, yes, I enjoyed issue number 1, and I'm looking forward to issue number 2 because I know we're going to get a deeper understanding of a lot of the background character information that we need to go ahead and further the story along. That's kind of where I'm at, because issue number 1 was more, in my opinion, just a setup, and it was just, I don't know. I guess, unfortunately, I was personally expecting more, and I didn't get what I was actually expecting, or it would have been residing in my memory considerably more than it does. It must have been something easily forgettable because I don't have much memory of really what it was about. I know once I was in issue 2, when I look into it and start getting into the story itself, I know it'll draw some of the memory, except for the fact that it wasn't that memorable. I'm hoping more. Just saying, if nothing else, that's why I'm looking forward to reading this, is if just to invoke some justification of why I read issue number 1. That's about as bad as I can go ahead and beat down on a book. Just saying. Hey, let's move out from Marvel and cruise over to a whole new publisher. Not necessarily new, but definitely a different way they're doing their platform. Bad Idea is now deciding that they're going to go ahead and cater to all the shops. There is no exclusivity. Anybody and everybody who wants to carry their product can now. And the cool thing about that is they're actually starting to divvy out a little bit of cool product. They did in the past, except for the exclusivity didn't just meant that it wasn't always as regular, predictable. You didn't know when it was going to come and if it was going to come, or because everyone was certain members, if they're going to be any left over because you weren't. I don't know. It just, I applaud the fact that Bad Idea got rid of the Bad Idea and they decided to take on a new format in which they're going to go ahead and divvy out their books. And in the case of this book that I'm talking about, in particular, Planet Death, issue number 1, is actually a second part to issue 0. If you think of it as a 2-part, that is supposed to be one full issue 0, that came out a little over a month ago. And it was a freebie to many shops. And it was a good way to show people on a very newsprint level of what to expect on this next book. This next book is a high quality paper. I already touched and played with the cardstock a little bit. And yeah, I mean, it is a cool looking book. Can't wait to actually get into the full reading of issue number 1. This is written by the franchise master and writer, Derek Kolstad. He will be doing a signing event along with one other, I believe, artist and maybe the other writer, I believe. There'll be 3 separate signing events that I'll be attending and hopefully get a couple exclusives. In doing so, I definitely looking forward to diving into the brain of this individual and figuring out, because the story itself isn't necessarily something that's new. We've seen this whole soldiers protecting Earth, good guys, protecting us from bad things type of scenario. Like I always say, you can give many people, cooks, the same ingredients, but they'll always come out with a different, product. Even though you may even give them essentially the same recipe to make, it always comes out a little bit different because you're getting the flavor of the artists themselves, cook. In the case of this story in itself, yeah, we may have heard a story come along much in the same, but it's a story that is told so differently and by a master of storyteller that I'm looking forward to getting into Planet Death issue number 1, because issue 0 was a great tease, and I'm looking forward to getting this miniseries. So Bad Idea, Planet Death, issue number 1 on 7/9/2025. Let's move on from that and talk about Boom. Boom's going to bring us Uncanny Valley, issue number 10. This is essentially the finale to what was supposed to be a 12-issue series. the deal was it was going to be 12 issues. If Tony was able to sell a certain amount of books, he was able to sell those books on issue number 1. Boom wanted to renegotiate as little as like 6 issues between everything being stated. Here we are at issue number 10. I am so glad that this story didn't get cut anymore. This has really been getting me at times, which Tony does, really wrapped up and involved with the characters themselves. I forget sometimes that all I'm doing is just reading and not necessarily in this adventure with them. It's a story of a kid finding out that somehow he is part of this Grandmaster plan, that if his blood is spilled upon some sacred altar, that he essentially can not only save and preserve the fantasy world in which the cartoons live, but possibly can expand this realm and in so allow that realm to possibly control the real world in some regards. That is what it's hinted at. I think there's a little bit of a dark underbelly that's going to turn out to be a little more evil than that on this final issue. And I hope this kid gets saved because he's in a bad predicament right now. His mom is trying to save him. His grandfather's trying to save him. And it has just turned out to be an insane adventure that I have been thoroughly enjoying for the past 10 months. Tony Fleeks, you've done it again, and with Watcher's help on the art, it's just been totally awesome. It just fell short of my most anticipated read, only for, well, you'll see soon. Moving out from Boom Studios in Candy Valley, issue number 10, which is the ending of this story. I'm going to go see a movie a little bit, so I'm going to go take off with the family. Appreciate you being here, Jigs. And let's cruise over to Image Studios. They're going to go ahead and bring us one issue that I've been looking forward to in particular. Yes, I have been a little bit late, and I'm pretty much almost caught up on Transformers, which is Transformers issue number 22, coming out on 7/9/2025. It's been one of my most enjoyable reads that I've been getting so far. There's been that. There's been what's the furthest place from here? There's been a few of these series that I've been going well beyond issue 20. And in no way, again, Miles Morales, issue number 35, in no way have these storylines diminished, in my opinion. If anything, I've been getting more enveloped in these storylines and actually feeling a little bit more part of the actual characters themselves, that I have this form of, I don't know, like buying because of the fact that I've been so involved in these storylines for so long. But here we are with issue number 22. And yeah, this has just been an awesome story. I've yet to read issue number 21. I got up to issue number 20, and everything supporting up to that was as far as G.I. Joe. And now we're definitely getting into a more crossover style events with these G.I. Joe, Void Rivals, and Transformers. Void Rivals is yet to really touch on the heavy crossover aspect, but we are now seeing how they're interplaying with one another. And there is more influence from one storyline over into the other than there has ever been before, without the need of an overall saga, storyline, event, or anything like that. These stories are essentially crossing over and independent upon one another. So I do stress to anybody that is looking for, trying to think that they can get away with just still reading just the Transformers or just the G.I. Joe and thinking they're getting enough out of the storyline, I do beg you that to expand upon that and do read all of it, because without it, you are now entering an aspect to where you are really losing out on the full realm of what the story is supposed to be. After well over a year, we have now established ourselves heavily into this Energon universe, and is now, like I said before, more independent than it ever was before. And it's just essentially way better told when you are reading these supporting stories, and you get an understanding of the gravity of the stories that you are presently reading, if you're reading the stories at all, than you have ever before. I am just saying. And yes, it fell roughly just behind Uncanny Valley issue number 10. But however, that stated, we are here for the Blue Light special, which comes out from IDW. Patrick Horvath is not only an individual that I enjoy speaking with, but his understanding and grasp of how to tell a horror story is how should I say, is cemented in his own understanding and stylings. And what I mean by that is it's him. He just knows how to tell a good horror story. Here we are with a story initially told Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Volume 1 originally came out last year, and it wasn't, again, like I said before, something that was overly new in the sense of the overall plot and storyline. A storyline of a serial killer to catch a serial killer is something that we've seen in the past, not necessarily told that quite often because it's hard to tell one well. But when it's written in anamorphic stylings and it's also told in a way that it is, and it's also utilizing not only the brilliance of the storytelling and these the palette and the art that it's being done, but it's also dependent upon that you do understand that it's not only a story that you may have seen, but it's done in a twist in a way that you may not, so you can better appreciate something that you've seen before. Patrick does a marvelous job in doing something that is, I don't know, something I've been told this before, that it once took a genius to figure out something so simple. And really, the idea behind that can be kind of applied here, where when you have a deep understanding of something and you have, how should I say, what they refer to as kung fu, meaning that kung fu is just a deep understanding. That's all it really literally means. So when you have certain deep understandings, you start taking certain things for granted. And I think Patrick has done that, where he is not really taking into account how well he tells the story, to the point that he tells the story so well that it's so mind-blowing to so many that he just kind of almost seemingly shrugs it off as, I just appreciate the fact that you enjoy it and I'll keep doing better. And it just seems like it's so masterful in the way that he's telling these stories that it's like, how can you do so? Here we are with volume 2, issue number 1 of Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Passage. You have no idea how bad I am dying to get into this book. As it was pointed out by Jigs that I am doing this show a little bit earlier than I normally do because I'm going to go see a movie. I would normally already be into this book. Even though I have a stack back there, I still yet to read. It is really that high on my list. And the first volume wasn't even something I was going to read. I've been trying to shed off books. The book was just given to me by a shop owner. He begged me to read it. After reading this issue number 1, I asked for issue number 2, and he gave me that. After doing that, I ended up buying the last 4 issues of that. And I've been not only hooked on Patrick's writing style ever since, but I've been looking forward to the next volume to, in my opinion, one of the best written horror slasher stories that I've ever read. Truly. I am just floored by this guy's writing style. I am floored by his art. I am more than impressed by what he's not only done in the past, but I look forward to hopefully seeing these type of works that he's done turn into something more than just the graphic stories that we receive, and hopefully see them on the big screen one day. Because these things deserve a little bit of broader attention, in my opinion, because this is just freaking awesome. To those of you that cruise on through, I appreciate you, Jigs. Greatly appreciate you being here, buddy. I truly do. And to all of you that cruise on through on the rewind, I appreciate you too. Hey, I hope everyone gets those books that you're looking for on your 7/9/2025. And until next time, that's it for me, Entropy. You guys stay well. Bye.